When someone is dealing with social anxiety, mental health issues, or any type of anxiety disorder, it can be difficult to spot the symptoms. This is especially true if a child is dealing with it. Statistics show that around 25% of children between the ages of 13 and 18 who suffered from an anxiety disorder, panic attack disorder, or depression did not have it treated. Because of this, they suffer from more anxiety disorders or mental health issues as adults. The good news is that there are certain phrases that kids say that show you they're feeling anxious. The feeling of anxiety is quite similar as it is for adults. Mood changes, fatigue, nervousness, or shyness are some similar feelings, and they all relate to mental health issues that could result in a panic attack, social anxiety, and more. This video will show you certain phrases that kids can say that indicate they're feeling anxious. If you've ever experienced anxiety before, you probably understand how overwhelming it can be, so imagine how difficult it must be for children. Number 10. What is wrong with me? It's normal to feel doubt in oneself, but not on a constant basis. If you notice that your child is constantly using the expression, "What is wrong with me?" you might want to look for other signs of mental illness relating to an anxiety disorder. Number 9. My body is uncomfortable. When it comes to their bodies, kids shouldn't stress out about how they look. But if you notice that your child is constantly complaining about their body, they might be suffering from physical and emotional anxiety. This is a huge sign of a possible mental illness like social anxiety or possibly another anxiety disorder. Number 8. Don't make me go or do it. If your child is constantly telling you this phrase when it comes to certain events, they may be feeling anxious about it. School is a perfect example. If your child is pleading with you not to make them go, it might be because of their classes. Number 7. I am sorry. Apologizing when it's necessary is polite, but when you notice your child apologizing too often, something might be off. Overusing the word sorry means you may feel stress for no particular reason, or that you constantly are feeling insecure and nervous that you've done something wrong. This is especially true for children who are taught at an early age that they get punished for bad behavior. Number 6. I want to stay home. If your child is suffering from social anxiety, they may ask if they can stay home. The reason is that they prefer a known environment that is quiet. Being in your comfort zone is one way to avoid triggering anxiety. Number 5. I don't want to do it. If you notice that your child is actively avoiding doing minimal interaction, they could be suffering from social anxiety and stress related to social interactions. Kids may not know how to express this, so they complain that they don't want to go. Number 4. Can we leave yet? Going to a party while suffering from anxiety can be difficult. For kids, they are usually forced to go and will immediately ask if they can all go back home due to the stress it brings on them. Adults know better and will try and stick it out, but kids do not possess the strength to do that. Number 3. Please stay. It's normal for a child to be attached to his or her parent, but if you notice that your child asks you to stay every time you need to leave, they might have separation anxiety and may experience stress because of it. Number 2. Keep the light on in the hallway. It's one thing to be afraid of the dark, but it's another to be afraid of having nightmares about it. If your child already has a nightlight in their room and still asks you to keep the hallway light on, they might be having sleep anxiety. Number 1. I'm too tired. Children have lots of energy and are constantly wanting to be outside doing something active. If you notice that your child is responding with "I'm too tired" when you advise them to go play, it might be because they're exhausted or are experiencing stress from anxiety-related issues. Going to school and trying to avoid bullies can be exhausting, especially if you know you're still going to feel anxious when you get home. Out of the certain phrases that kids say, this might be the most common. If your child tells you he or she doesn't feel well, there's a good chance they don't. This is why it is important to watch for signs of depression, a panic attack, and more. However, if you notice that they constantly tell you this in certain situations, something might be wrong. Take school, for example. If you notice that they don't feel well once a month, it could be because they're anxious about a big test they might not be ready for. A lot of phrases that kids say could be a sign of anxiety, but they could also mean nothing. It's important to sit down with your child and find out what's going on. As parents, you're the first people they need to feel comfortable sharing emotions with. It's also your job to teach them how to express and deal with these emotions. It is also important to understand that if your child is suffering from mental illness or a mental health issue, it is okay. If you take the right steps, you can deal with it. Anxiety or depression is never easy to deal with, especially if the person who is feeling the anxiousness is a child. They may not understand why they are feeling the way they are, and may be confused by what they are feeling. This is why it is important to know what signs to look for in children, as well as what you can do to help comfort them. If a child is feeling anxious, and it goes untreated on into adulthood, it could turn into depression. This is why it is extremely important to watch out for signs at a young age. Now that you know what phrases to look out for that a child may be anxious, here are some more interesting facts about anxiety disorders in kids. According to the Anxiety Disorders Association of America, 1 in 8 kids suffer from some type of anxiety disorder. Yep, that's a surprisingly big number, right? Well, if you are around kids or have a lot of children of your own and want to know how to calm them down when they are feeling anxious, here are 3 natural ways to calm them down. Breathing exercises. This involves slow and gentle body movements, which incorporate breathing techniques. When doing this with the child, get him or her to focus their full attention on the breathing. This will make them take their mind off of their anxiety. This can slow down the heart rate, lower blood pressure, and make a child feel more calm. Art therapy. Try keeping art materials available around you, and when you notice the child is feeling anxious, encourage them to use the materials. This can help children express their feelings through art, and that creating art is a soothing experience, which can help children focus and concentrate on what they are working on in the moment rather than the anxious thoughts. Try to keep art materials around like crayons, paint, markers, construction paper, and more. Using these materials can help a child calm down and keep their minds off their anxious thoughts. Deep pressure therapy. Deep pressure therapy works by applying gentle pressure to a person's body. You can do this using all sorts of different ways of squeezing products, designed specifically to reduce anxiety. You can also even try gently rolling a child on a rug or a blanket. Deep pressure therapy like hugging can reduce anxiety and calm a child. Watch for the signs. There are certain signs to look out for that a child might have an anxiety disorder, like post-traumatic stress disorder, obsessive-compulsive disorder, panic disorder, and more. Signs that a child may have an anxiety disorder include physical symptoms like fainting, sweating, or the feeling of choking. If you notice that simple things make a child panic or act nervous, and this continues to be a pattern, you should consult with a mental or behavioral health professional or the child's family. So there you have it, all of the different things kids might say when they're feeling anxious. As mentioned earlier in this video, if you notice that a child is experiencing anxiety or any other mental health issues, there are certain signs you can look out for as well as certain things you can do to help relieve the symptoms. What are some of the signs that you notice a child is experiencing anxiety or mental illness? Have you ever experienced anxiety? Let us know about it in the comments section below. Enjoyed this video? Hit like, share, and subscribe to Bestie. Wait! What kind of bestie would we be if we didn't tell you about our other awesome videos? Go ahead, choose the left or right video and enjoy.